Hello and welcome to DDOCaSplat. We're a static group that plays on Khyber. We're gonna run House J, Age of Rage today. This should be fun.
Should be, but
I kind of like, well, except for the last one. I don't really like the last quest, but this is evidenced by the fact right now that I've done the other four.
same here.
The last one is notable for Tosh because that's where she died in hardcore this season.
Ooh,
to
bad
happen.
memories. You gonna be okay?
Always.
She had
always.
extra lives.
No.
Trauma.
Yes.
And
I have
hey,
nightmares.
this is the first time since, because we missed last week's first time since got the Feywild stuff, so I'm wearing the, whatchamacallit. Actually, I don't remember the name of this set. And the Kushi pet.
Mosaic or the other one?
No, the other one.
I like the other one. It's kind of blue silvery.
What's
I
it
really
called?
like it.
Winter Eladrin plate.
All right, let's stop talking about what we're wearing and let's less shop, more chop. I don't know, whatever I'm
Oh,
trying
come
to say.
on now. It's fun.
Can we just
it's fun.
can we just
Ooh.
play?
Ooh,
We will be late.
episode title already.
Just because
4 or
it's not
5.
important to you doesn't mean it's not important to us.
That's right. Football does nothing for me. You got to talk to Grubby about football or Bunny, one of them. Not me.
Bunny.
I'm sorry, that's one of my kids.
Oh.
Sick little Bunny, if you've ever run with him. I've got it's a family affair for us playing DDO.
Gotcha. There
We
was
started-
a guy on Khyber. Well, we all are still on Khyber. His name was Bunny. He was in Ransack, the old guild Ransack, and he would run the old Hound and VOD way back when they first came out, and he did a pretty good job of it. And he disappeared. I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah, this is. He's got several tunes with Bunny in the name. His first was Dumb Bunny, which was a joke, and his main is Sick Little Bunny, which some of you know Perisher. And Perisher helped with that name.
Hey, Saphira, step out of Achilles there for a sec.
Oh, there we go.
Now you're in gold.
Uh-huh.
I was gonna comment on the. I saw it's either you or Tosh that was wearing something a little revealing for armor. I was gonna comment on it, but I don't know which one of the two of you it was because you're gold.
I think it's Tosh. Mine's
I switched.
skin tight but fully covers me.
Yeah, well, I switched because you wanted something different. So here's about as revealing as I think I've got.
You're talking about clothes again, Erica.
Hey, it's better than football.
Debatable.
Says you.
That's right. That's right. If you're going to give me a hard time about my cosmetic outfits, which I thought were useless, but I've found to be much more fun than I expected.
Hey, you know, some people like the cosmetics, so.
One of the first things I do when I make a new character is make sure that I have a cosmetic armor that looks good with my hair and skin color.
Yeah, that's what I did this afternoon. Exactly.
Gotta get dressed for
Maybe I
DDOCaSplat, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess you're waiting for me to unlock it, so I did.
Well, I tried without switching to my unlock thing. Didn't work.
When the night comes, we see new possibilities. That's what brings people to the night market. That feeling that around
I'm gonna need a new keyboard.
Uh-oh.
A new life
Yeah, my W key has gotten way too much use over the last few years.
Who knows?
I've always gone with, I just buy cheap keyboards.
I do hope that you find what you're looking
I'm on a
for
laptop.
tonight, my friend.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to be on a keyboard, but I need to get a monitor. Got to go test them because a bad keyboard will wreck my hands. I found out that the hard way one time.
My keyboard's actually pretty hardy. I actually broke a fingernail. I was hitting it so hard.
It's pretty hardy.
Mm-hmm.
I see the bloody footprints. That must be the way to go.
Uh-oh.
Probably a good
Fred?
way.
Anybody talk to Fred?
I did.
We gotta talk to him afterwards. That's the way you really get some bang for talking to him.
Get some what? Some bang. What the heck are you talking about?
Bang for your buck?
It's more gangster
Oh,
talk.
okay.
Arcot.
It's more
You-
gangsta to say bang instead of.
more gangster for you. Oh,
Front door to the blazing beacons was securely barred from your side. You won't be getting in this way.
Isn't it?
Ooh, halfling exterminator deed. They're all gone. Ooh, Fear Reaper somewhere. Or there it is.
ooh, lost sound there for a second.
Remnant.
It's one of the more annoying bugs when you lose sound in DDO.
Mm-hmm.
Look at them dance.
I love that.
Like they're on American Bandstand.
Not that we're gonna date ourselves or anything, right?
American Bandstand, really?
Solo green grass.
Yeah, it's a gangsta thing, right? No.
Oh, sure, okay.
It's got a good beat and you can dance to it. Even I know American Bandstand.
Yeah, so F you, Ozzy.
Just trying to keep you from dating yourself too much.
Oh, I don't give a crap.
I know. I don't either.
I don't know if you want to talk about dating yourself. I started watching the Challenger documentary on Netflix. Pretty
I mean, the
good.
explosion,
I didn't even
1986
have
Challenger
Netflix.
explosion.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know
I
where
was
it was when
watching that
happened.
live.
They're it's pretty interesting. Like it's 4 episodes, and I've gone through the first 2. And I mean, if you want spoilers for don't want spoilers for a documentary, plug your ears for a second. But like it starts off. The cold open is the launch, although they don't actually show you the actual explosion. They cut it. They fade to black right before. But then they're kind of interspersing, like, leading up to it, up to the actual launch, with like who the crew was, and how kind of a little bit of how they got there, and kind of some of that stuff, which is kind of interesting. So it's not just here's what happened and here's what led up to this event, and in a lot of ways why it should have been preventable, but like who was lost in it as well, and who these people were. So they're kind of this is really nice interplay of those two things.
Yeah. We all know Chris McAuliffe and the guy Onizuka. I actually went to his gravesite in Hawaii.
I before starting to watch this, I don't think I could have named any of them, but I was also 1 when it happened.
I know exactly where I was. I was programming on an Apple II computer.
It certainly seems to me like it's one of those events that you remember where you were.
Same thing with
Oh,
9/11.
for sure.
Reaper.
Reaper.
9/11,
Definite Reaper.
the Challenger explosion, maybe less for you guys, but definitely in my area, Mount St. Helens explosion,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sure.
Sure.
JFK being assassinated, probably before most of the people here's time.
Remnant.
Like there's major events like that, right? That Pearl Harbor, I'm sure would be one if you were old enough back then. So there's definitely those events, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And in a very different way, I feel like the pandemic is going to be that too, except it's not like a moment in time.
No, it's a whole year. It's the
It's
year
like
where all of a sudden masks became acceptable.
I kind of wonder, like, what are like 10 years from now? What are people going to hold on to in terms of that memory of when did you? Because it's gonna be like, it's gonna be a very different time period when people realize, oh crap, we're in the middle of this really bad pandemic.
Well, I hope we can keep on doing mail-in ballots because that's so much easier than going to the polling.
Well, you could always do that.
Well, it
No,
depends on where
not
you
unless,
are.
not unless
Well,
you're traveling.
Well, you could always do. It's not just mail-in. It's absentee ballot. Absentee ballots are also mail-in, but the mail-in that we're talking or that most people are thinking about these days are the ones that they send you, whether you ask for it or not.
I mean, I live in a state that we've been all mail-in ballots for like 15 years, I think. It's the first election I voted in, I went to I actually went to a polling station, which was kind of, 18, maybe a little older than 18. It was kind of neat, right? Like this like little adventure. Like, all right, I'm gonna go vote for the first time. Hey, Dad, how does this work? Where do I go? How do I figure this out?
Yeah.
And turned out it was like 3 blocks from my house was a polling location. And then ever since then, all the presidential elections I voted in have been by mails, I think, so. I'm pretty sure.
You talked to him twice?
Yeah, I did. Let's see,
Yeah, I've never done the mail-in thing. I've only ever gone to the polls. I'll be doing that again this year.
This year I mailed it in. We have a tiny church that was our polling place, and it just made no sense to go and be exposed to things in that small an area.
I mean, that's going to be true for a lot of people. The thing that
yeah.
I've found that I really like about mail-in voting is the first time I voted, I don't really remember the specifics other than like the presidential race, and would have been a governor race there too. But you know how when you open up you start filling out your ballot, right? At least it's my experience. You start filling out a ballot, like, okay, I know I'm gonna vote about these 2 or 3 things, right? And then there's like the rest of the 3 pages of things to vote for that I have no idea what they are.
Uh-oh. Yeah, this is what
Well, like
researchers
various
know about.
propositions and state constitutional amendments and things like that.
Yeah.
That can be.
I always look at the ballot
can
that
be
they post
pretty,
prior, so I know what to,
Sure.
Yep.
Which would be a
Thank
great way to.
that's
confusing.
available to us now.
Yeah, that would be a great way to kind of prepare for that, right? But, well, again, like I don't have to worry about that because we have mail-in voting, so by default, I think there's actually places you can actually go and still vote in person. It's just not the norm. There's a remnant back here, like especially this year, because like I opened up my ballot and I was like, all right, I know who I'm going to vote for all these races. It's like, and I'm thinking it's not going to be, like it's going to be mostly people races, right? And then it turns out that there's just an unholy number of propositions and referendums and stuff. Like our ballot in Washington State was, in my county in Washington State was full. If they had anything else to vote for, we would have needed another piece of paper. But we also have some kind of stupid things on our ballot.
You ring the bell
Define stupid things.
Several years ago, a professional initiative campaigner, who is, I think, generally not well loved by people in our state, got passed an initiative that if our state legislature passes a new tax, it has to go on the ballot, and we have to approve or disapprove of it. Only,
That's good.
well, you'd think that, but it actually doesn't mean anything. Like the people voting on it, it doesn't, like, if we say no, we don't want it, it doesn't actually change anything. The tax still goes into effect. It's just a vote. Do people like it or not like it?
Oh, I see. It's a poll.
Yes.
A poll at the poll.
Yeah. It doesn't change anything. It's just a
Yeah, it doesn't have any real legal effect.
Right.
Lovely.
So it just, and there's usually like 3 or 4 of those a year. Because it includes things like, well, and they all start that the legislator approved a tax without the will of the people, or something like that. Like it's some sort of like very political, legalese kind of statement of, hey, the legislator passed this tax without having you vote on it. Should it be repealed or maintained? But it doesn't actually mean anything. Literally, it doesn't matter what the vote is.
That's a whole new cycle to be repealed, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, and it's like, this includes things that are, so the legislature typically says, okay, we're going to approve this tax for a certain number of years, right? So let's say that we're approving a tax on hotel rooms of 0.5% for the next 10 years. Well, in 10 years, they reapprove it, and that goes back on the ballot too. So it's a little tedious. But this year also, my county, every 10 years is when we can change the charter of the county. And there were like 9 things that they wanted to change. There's like a committee that comes together and proposes changes to the voters or something to that effect. But there were like 9 or 10 of those this year. And of course, it's the presidential election, which is also for us the same year that we vote on like all of our governmental officials as well. So the fact that the county charter and the state elections are lining up on the same election is kind of just all bloats it together.
Fear Reaper.
But the thing I like about the mail-in is I can open my ballot and get online, and there's a couple places I like to go to get their opinions, a couple newspaper places that, like, here's what we endorse, who we endorse, and what we think about these things, so I can kind of get a Cliff's Notes version, that kind of thing. Floor's gonna go boom, and then I can fill out my ballot while I'm looking at it all. It's great. If I did what Saphira had said about like looking it up beforehand, I'd need to like bring in a note card. Like I'd need to, when you had tests in college, like you can have a 3x5 note card to put whatever information on it you want for the test. That'd be like doing that.
Yep, that's what we do, or used to do.
What's gonna be really crazy is what there's a circle. What are elections gonna look like next year? It's gonna be an interesting question. One of the things that that they can say empirically, just like from data, is people who vote early for the first time tend to continue liking to vote early. And I believe the same is also true of voting by mail. So the elections could change a lot in the future. That could be an interesting thing to see how it happens.
Well, the obvious next step is online elections. Online. Of course, your obvious problem with that is internet security and so forth. So, Famine Reaper.
That's interesting. I hadn't considered that.
I did. But I'm afraid to bring it up too much because they have issues already with getting online stuff to work very well.
Trying to think of like what that, because I'm kind of personally a proponent of, if you're supposed to vote, it should be really easy to vote. If you're not supposed to vote, it should be really hard to vote. How do you figure those two things out? I kind of feel like if you could, my gut reaction is to say that voting online would be more secure than mail-in ballots.
Well, it's the actually of the getting into, because if it's online, it means it has to be on the internet, which means it's vulnerable to attack.
Yes, and it's also vulnerable to what happens if you got partway through and the power went out, or your ISP went down, or there's so many potentials there. With mail, at least you have a form, you fill out the form, you say this is who I am, and then they send it to you, and then you got to sign it, and your signature has to match what they have on file, and blah blah blah.
Which is a challenge.
Oh sure, because mine changes every time, but still, they've always let me do it.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's a whole new interesting dynamic I hadn't considered. I don't know why I hadn't considered it, but
Yeah, I thought of online. Well, I didn't think of it myself first or anything,
Right.
but I first started to think about it back in the mid-90s.
wow, I bet that's a much different conversation than it would be now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a different world today.
I mean, back then, I was talking with my roommate today.
Like Reaper.
When I turned 16, I got a cell phone because my parents were divorced, and when I turned 16, they gave me keys to a vehicle and a cell phone, and my dad said, I'm done shuttling you back and forth. That was just kind of how that went.
Whoa, stuff behind us as well.
There's a dancing ball coming up.
Of course, yeah.
But I was like one of the first. I'm pretty sure I was the first person in my group of friends that had a cell phone.
Interesting.
And now my
when
5-year-old,
kids-
my niece got her own tablet when she was like 3.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Right?
A tablet? No, I don't have a problem with that. It's the cell phone that the cell phone I have problems with. Young teenagers or young kids getting.
Clear.
Incoming.
Thank you.
In some ways, I kind of think I had this conversation with my mom because I have 2 sisters. One is 11 and a half years younger than me, and the other one is 22 years younger than me. And so the older of the two, my mom, contacted me. Was like, "Hey, your sister wants to get a Facebook account," and I think she was 13 or 14 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, "What do you think about that?" I'm like, "Wow, okay, well, I think that's okay, but you need to have some boundaries set. Like, you need to have access to it, and you should approve who she becomes friends with, and stuff like that. And you should kind of keep an eye on it and have conversations with her about this is social media and this is how you need to use social media. Which, of course, is this really crazy thing for my mom because my mom doesn't even have a Facebook account at this point. I don't think.
I only
Sounds
got
like
one
then
because one of
it
my
sounds like
friends-
you need to be the older brother.
Well, I mean, I kind of
and you have the chat talk with her.
maybe.
Sometimes that works, sometimes that doesn't. That really depends.
Sure. But I think the thing that kind of stuck out to me a little bit there is I think it's actually almost better for, you know, the generations growing up right now to have things like a tablet and a cell phone and
Carnage Reaper.
it's held, and a Facebook account under a structure of, okay, we're going, you know,
This is how
mom
you
and dad
use
are
it.
going to
This is
teach
what
you how to
do.
use it responsibly.
Right. Well, it's the same as with driving. I mean, it can be dangerous,
Mhm.
equally dangerous in different ways.
I would actually argue that a Facebook account is probably more dangerous than driving.
Well, driving, a Facebook account is not as likely to kill you. Notice I didn't say it won't kill you, but
Yeah.
if bad people are doing bad things. But you're driving a death machine and you make a mistake. If you go off a cliff, you're done, right? I mean, that's just all there is to it.
But we invest a hell of a lot more into teaching kids how to drive than we do about teaching them how to use the internet or playing online video games like this.
Yep.
That's true. But I'm not so sure the schools are the appropriate place to teach things like that. To drive, yeah, that's one thing, but how to use social media?
They don't teach them to drive in schools here anymore. When I was going to school, they had a class on learning how to drive.
Yeah,
By the
driver's
time my
education.
kids, no, they don't do that in Ohio any longer. It doesn't
You don't have
happen.
driver's ed at all?
No driver's ed in the schools at all.
Oh, but you still have a driver's ed.
You have to go to a special place if you want to. If you want to buy that, you can go to a place and pay for it. It's expensive. It's and getting in is a real pain too. So not everybody goes, and it's because it's not in the schools. It's
Which is
I don't think
probably
it's
less
standardized.
good if people aren't doing it. I believe our current stuff, which was put into effect just after I got my license, by which I mean like 2 months after I got my license. They have, so you can get your permit when you're 15 and a half.
That's the same here.
Or if you are 15 and are enrolled in a driver's ed program, you can also get your permit then. And then at 16, you get an intermediate license. And they actually, I think they actually make it slightly different. I don't remember I know they orient our licenses one way for, but I don't know if that's, I think that's just if you're under 21. It's like it's actually oriented vertically instead of horizontally. Yeah, but for the first like 6 months you have your license, you can only drive people in your family unless you have an adult in the front seat.
Yeah,
in the passenger
exactly.
seat.
A licensed driver here.
Yeah, that's probably what it is here. Anyone want to quarantine?
I don't know if I have one or not, but if no one else needs it, I would take it.
What is it?
Rune
It's
arm.
a rune arm.
Oh, no.
Yeah. This gal it has got 2 levels of already and will have again. Thank you.
And I think now the I'm trying to remember. I know that there's a point, like when you turn 16, you can get your license, but only if you finish driver's ed. I think. I don't think you can get your license here if you haven't finished driver's ed until you're 18.
I don't remember that. You just had to pass the test, and the test is pretty tough. The maneuverability test that they do here is.
We do have a thing too as part of the now to finish driver's ed. And I think this came a couple years after I got my license. You have to complete a number of hours by which it's you have to have somebody with a license sign off on you've done. They did you.
Yeah, we have.
You did
we've
a
had
certain
that
number
for
of
a long
hours
time.
with them in the passenger seat,
Yeah,
and a certain number
both
of them
daylight
have to be
hours.
under at night.
Yes, at night, and certain number on the highway as well, as I recall.
That's
what ours
probably
is
true.
anyway. Yep, because I've actually taught several people to drive, and I prefer teaching people to drive on a stick shift. Just saying.
I'd learn how to drive a stick shift.
I think everybody should know how to learn how to drive on a stick shift.
I agree. Absolutely agree.
Until they stop making stick shifts.
Well, that's always the problem right now, is that we don't really have.
I learned. It doesn't mean I remember.
Well, but at least if you've done it once, then you have a higher probability of doing it again. We're
Yep.
missing Saphir. I can't give you with what little tiny
Yep.
bitty buffies I've got.
I'm coming. My inventory was full.
Understood. Mine probably is
But
too.
I'm
I
here
just
now.
don't know it yet.
Now you can see what I'm wearing, Patrick.
What? Oh, hang on.
A handful of nomadic giants.
No, it was definitely not you that I saw poking out of our cut.
Is this?
Nope.
Is this the one? I changed outfits just for you there, Patrick.
That's probably some. I don't know. I just saw something that was bikini chainmail like, and I was going to comment on it since we were talking about clothing at the time.
Yeah. Well, this is
That
what
was
I was
Tosh.
wearing before. This is what I was wearing before. That was maybe the other day. I don't know.
It was
This is
mostly
fun.
just an exercise in egging on Arcot a little bit, so.
It worked too. It was fun.
His eyes gloss over and we get to close.
And a sudden hopeful, musky odor makes you both
I need to
nauseous
see if I
and
have
angry.
any more
Don't
bolts.
these
I might
brutes
need
have a
more.
wash?
I do go through them.
Yeah, we're looking for a Lawbringer. That's what I'm looking for.
A spirit appears
Lawbringer, you want me to do
before
it too?
if
Sure.
only for a moment of peace.
There we go.
A
Final
spirit appears
Guardian.
before you, if only for a moment of peace.
Alright, let's go beat up some drow. By the way, if you're listening to this before next Tuesday and you live in the US, please go vote. Vote,
Absolutely.
vote responsibly, vote safely. Don't just treat it like a multiple choice quest so you don't know the answers and just put C everywhere. But, go vote.
Do your research. Find out who these people are. Find out if what they are standing for is what you want them to be doing for you.
And
Can't be
take heart,
representative.
the world's not going to end if your candidate or position doesn't win.
Well, this has been
Blinded,
happening for
really?
decades.
What?
Yes. That was a 1.
I think I've
No, you
ticked
said
it off.
blinded.
Yes, I got blinded.
Do you need blindness removal?
No,
pot?
I'm fine. Somebody got me.
Yeah, they fixed that. You can't throw pots at people anymore for blindness and all those things. I mean, I can throw pots all the time, but that's different.
Yeah, it's different.
If you listen to the cast this week, I kind of got on him a little bit for that.
Good. Yes, I know you did. That was awesome. It's
Like that-
ridiculous not to be
it-
able to use pots like that.
Well, it's always been a thing. It's always been you can either use them on others or you can't use them while raged. And it felt like, it felt like, whoever did this didn't know that. Like, how did you not know this? It's been a part of the,
For a moment of peace.
like, that's been a thing for
Yep.
years.
Exactly. Well, and then there's the interface where a pop-up comes up And some pop-ups will freeze when you're not in, when you're, I'm running in T mode, right? So when I move my mouse, I move my perspective, right? And some pop-up boxes, you know, yes or no, answer a question, whatever, they take you and make you not be able to move, which means that your mouse can be used then to click the yes or no button or whatever the options are. And then there's the ones like the ones out in the forest and all the new missives where you have to go and find and open a little dialogue box to,
Like Elminster, you mean?
yeah, yeah, all of those, right? And those do not make you your screen stop moving, so you cannot use your mouse to do it. You have to hit T mode. You have to go into T mode and then hit the thing. And escape doesn't work, which ticks me off, because most of the time, if you hit escape, it'll close the form. This one it doesn't. So
I like the explorer points that are just a DM text.
Right, you just walk past it and it works. I like that.
Well, I don't mind the click on something thing. I just don't really want to do the reading part. I'm not playing a video game to read.
I hear you, Peach. That's like me and my wife. She has to read every single dialogue option, and oh my god.
Well, I would, except that I run with people like my husband Grubby and with PJ, and you know they never slow down. So yeah, you just hit the thing, and hopefully you can hit escape, right? Because otherwise you have to stop and take it out of T mode and put it in, get it into T mode and hit the thing and make your mouse work, because it won't work when you're in the other mode, and it's a pain in the rock.
I mean, it's a balance, right? Like I like the immersion and the, you know, some of the stuff is kind of interesting and provides a lot of flavor, but also
It's very boring if you don't have a story.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would like to point out too that we all comment on how well Wizbot knows quests, so that could be related.
I mean,
I think it's probably more related to the fact that she runs like everything a bajillion times. She's got to complete a tune that's like either a completionist or like one life away from a completionist. And I'm not even close on any of them. So no, she's run the content, you know, quite a bit.
I'll read stuff like the first couple time, like the first time through, but after a while, it's like I don't need to read a book every time. Do faster. Then they do really evil things, like make it so the default choice is something that is not what you need to advance it. It's like, oh no.
Right. Yeah. Thank you. What are you thinking? Well, and I was leveling up an alchemist today, right? And I noticed that the fire option for the things that I wanted to take was in different places in different ones of the places in the tree. Now, why is that? Why can't you put it?
Because I think they're alphabetical and they changed the name.
Right. Well, that is a problem.
Annoying. Yeah, I agree.
Thank you. Make it easy for us because we're in a hurry. We got people waiting for us.
Man, the day that they make it so that it's like you can save a build in your UI settings or something.
Yeah, do it over again. I'm gonna do it again. Yeah, I got more lives. Do it again.
Exactly.
Yeah. More of the
Make
same.
your own path. Oh my goodness. That would
yeah,
be...
because that's what we already do, right? I mean, how many times have I done variations on my trapping bard build?
Record this path, or just record this character as a path. Rinse, repeat. Great.
Thank you. Mine. Yes.
That would
I don't
be
have
awesome.
I don't have to scroll through the list of skills to get the ones I need, because yeah, that would be nice.
Every once in a while, I have pretty good ideas.
There's an enhancement I'd like. Save my build as a path. Thank you. Yeah.
No shiny stick.
Ooh, legendary scales.
Do you need them?
I don't know. I'm looking to see what they are.
Heavy armor, fort 202, parrying 9, insightful wisdom 9.
I have not
con
been
9.
a cleric yet. That looks like what this is.
If anyone
That
has a
looks
plan
like
on
a-
doing like a shield tanky build, the giant splatter there is a really good tank shield.
So who do I give the scales to? Haven't got names and tune figured out quite yet. Who do I send it to?
I got my
I
own.
think she has her own. Yeah.
Oh, you got your own. Oh, cool. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Does anyone else need a set?
So nobody wants the giant splatter?
Wow.
Up
That's a
on
shame.
somewhere.
I haven't seen the giant splatter yet. Where is that one? There it is. What is that?
It's a shield.
It's a good defensive shield.
I think I've got one. Let me double check if you don't mind.
Sure.
Where's my spreadsheet?
Yeah, the heavy scale armor is very nice because it's not metal, so you druids
Mhm.
can wear it.
Insightful con, insightful wisdom.
Perfect for druid.
Oh yeah, druid too. I haven't done that yet either.
Got one.
Is it heavy armor?
Especially for a bear. I mean, it's awesome for a bear.
The trick there is I don't think druids actually get proficiency with heavy armor naturally.
They can when you're in the bear
Yes.
bear tree. Toward the top of the bear tree, you get it. And I have one, so that's
Although I
somebody else.
think these days if you're doing a melee druid, most people don't go pure. In fact,
Yeah, but as long
I
as you
think
get
that's yours, Shirza.
as long as you get 5 levels, and you can get to take
Mhm.
the top of the enhancement tree. So
you can always
Sorry,
take
did
it
you
to
say
feat, too.
something, Saphira?
Yeah, I said I think that's yours.
Okay.
Somebody left a resurrection scroll in there. That's a crime. Right?
If it was me, it's because it didn't show up before I looted.
No, it wasn't you. Doesn't matter.
I loot
It's
everything.
not like I can't afford to buy more, but I know I always take everything. Yeah, that's right.
get my 15th Reaper point. 6 more to go.
Right. Oh, I need to check.
Oh, for the
Congratulations.
plus 100 hit points.
Yep.
Sweet.
That's the only reason why I care about doing Reaper is just for the 21st point, and then after that I couldn't care less.
Want all of them I can get. This tune has not got very many.
They go a lot faster these days than they used to.
It depends on your tune, right?
No.
It really depends on the people you run with.
Yeah.
Yep.
That more than anything. I mean, look, we're just more powerful than when Reaper came out.
It was hard.
Compared to now, we're a lot more powerful.
Arrived at the dockside
Hmm.
Cartwright's workshop.
Well, and we know more about how to run it,
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps they
and
some
we
kind of
also
You found a way inside
What?
the building that said to
we
house
have more and
headquarters
better
of the
gear.
Disciples of Rage.
Better tactics.
We know what to expect.
More Reaper points to start with.
Right. Well, yes. It depends on the tune that you're working on. Like the one I did today, she has
Perhaps you
nothing.
can find other people.
The other part of it too is there's a lot more quests that are shorter.
Nearby workers immediately pull weapons from their hiding
I mean, the Sharn quests are all are generally pretty short. Cogs are all really short. Some of these quests aren't terribly long. I mean, been going for 45 minutes and we've completed 3.
But the other thing too is that we also have.
Beyond the hidden
Oh
doorway
crap! I
south
forgot what I
of
was
the
going to say.
fortified
Shoot!
area.
Trying to do too many things at
Sentient
once.
weapons?
No, we don't have to do them at the level of the quest on normal any longer.
Oh, sure.
You know, when we started doing Walk the Butcher's Path at level 2, that was pretty brutal.
Yeah, that's a good point. That makes it a lot easier.
Pressure builds jewels behind your
I have
eyes.
fond memories of the Butcher's Path when you have to avoid those damn shaman.
Right? Yes, confusion is your friend. Then they kill each other.
They killed me on hardcore.
It killed a lot of people on
Ouch.
hardcore.
Yep.
Lightning bolt at low levels is no joke.
No, it's not.
Whoa, he's tough. There we go. That worked.
Oh, I see a remnant on the floor. Yay, rah.
Courses through your head, and your vision tinges red. A burning rage overtakes you. A rage that can only be quenched with destruction.
This is one of my favorite quests, and maybe one of you or some of you can guess why.
Because you get to break stuff?
Exactly.
Break everything. Remnant.
I do kind of like it when they incorporate that kind of stuff in to a quest. Breaks up the hack and slash.
Subsides, and your anger rapidly fades. You need to
Two
finish
remnants.
with the disciples
Rangers
of
can't
Rage
be
quickly,
broken
or the
by
madness will
ranged
take over.
damage. You have to hit them with something with your hands. I don't like that. I mean, I don't mind when I'm on a melee tune, but on other tunes, I do.
There's 2 remnants?
Yep.
They're right next to each other.
Oh, they must have got them both already.
The cultists' strange experience are not as inert as they seem.
Reaper. Yep, dead Reaper. The best kind. Nice dancing bears. Look at that. Shake it, bear, shake it.
Card control and healing.
Mm-hmm. This hateful stares.
Ow.
Creatures. Oh. I was trying to get him. Wasn't fast enough, sorry.
Clear.
There's a restaurant in here.
Oh. Was it?
Okay, you got him.
Oh. Didn't realize that.
I think we missed a trap.
What?
So I think we missed a trap.
Did we? Where?
The one that's shooting arrows
In the chest room?
darts.
I'm supposed to dish out pain, not
Same
receive
time,
it.
I don't ever remember disabling a box and when I've done it before, so I don't know.
All of the boxes that I found, I've taken down.
It's not a big.
Where is it?
I don't
In
know
the
if there
chest
is
room?
a
The
box
chest
for it.
room? No, I don't think there's a box for it. I think that might have just. I will look again.
Dust.
just in case.
Or go
Nope. No. No. No.
More eye horrors
Doesn't exist.
occupy this hallway, almost as if they were guarding something. A strange volume floats over the altar. This must be the book the cultist mentioned.
Apparently, I didn't give myself songs to this quest. Hey, who wants to talk to the book?
Not me. I'm ready to whack the bad guy.
The book is instantly engulfed in flame. Yet before you can congratulate yourself
Should
on
I
the job
read
well
it
done,
or should I
the
destroy it?
brilliant tome in
It's up
the
to you.
intense pulse of arcane energy. The destruction of the book has brought forth a guardian.
Now you've done it.
Christ, the most guardian.
These cultists were quite useful.
Nothing is delicious.
Lord Belishir.
What's his problem with me? Arcot, hit him harder. You don't want him shooting me.
I'm hitting this from as fast as I can. And I'm not Arcot, so.
Just like eye lasering me constantly here.
Wow.
Well, I laser you too, so.
Ah!
You've destroyed the headquarters of the disciples of Ray.
If I wasn't sitting in a chair and not on camera, I would do a very sexy pose for you.
Destroyed the giants.
Actually, I should probably clarify that by saying that I would attempt to do what I think is a very sexy pose, and probably actually isn't.
Here you go. How's one like this? That one?
I'm scared. What-
Reflex.
oh,
Yeah, it's very silly. Got nothing. Sorry, folks.
And neither did I.
That fell out of my chair the first time I saw somebody do that flex. Oh my gosh, it was so funny.
I haven't played with the new shifter dances. You should do that.
You know, one of the things that I wish they would do is stop making the girl dances be cheerleading. I've never been a cheerleader. Never was interested in being a cheerleader. Having my tunes dance like cheerleaders is not a dance. That's a cheerleading move. It's not the same thing. Right? I've got opinions about these things, obviously.
This doesn't feel like a cheerleading dance.
The half elf female is.
there's definitely,
definitely
cheerleading. Yeah. No, there's definitely some cheerleading ones. That's for sure.
The gnomes, the gnomes are all cheerleaders. The shifter females are all is cheerleading. The half elf, one of the dances is more of a ballet move, and that does not qualify as cheerleading. There's no cheerleader doing that twisty move. The pirouette. That's not. No. Anyway.
At least they give us different dances.
That's true.
And monsters too. Like, I appreciate that they put some effort into the dances.
I do too. And some of them, like some of the Warforged dances are good. the half-orc dances are pretty good too. I like those. Those are fun.
Yeah, the half orc's got a good.
It is.
The halfling male.
I'm looking at the back of Serenia, and I just realized, yeah, those are totally hot pants. Your butt cheeks are hanging out.
Then motions you over.
I think this is the standard
Yeah.
Shatterkai Stalker's gear. So maybe I should put on my other stuff, so at least my legs aren't hanging out. Yeah. This was like hip huggers, which is like a whole nother problem. Yeah, my days of hip huggers are just over. Just saying. But Serenia can wear them. She does just fine with them. Which I think is totally hysterical because I remember when hip huggers were the thing the first time around. Yeah.
The skeptical Scarrow Elder says you must pass
I'm pretty
the
sure you could
hottest
put a set of
water,
clothes in front of
which
me and I
starts in the
couldn't pick
cave
out the hip huggers. But
Pretty sure some of them you could.
fashion, not my thing. Jeans and a t-shirt. That's what I know about fashion. And how to tie a tie.
Well, there you go.
I only know one way to tie a
Double
tie, though.
Windsor or single, right?
I don't even know. I know a way to tie a tie.
you.
I don't think I've
Here's
been
what
in
I know
here.
about my tie tying. Grandma thinks I dress up nice, so I must be doing something right.
Oh, there you go. That's it. As long as Grandma's happy.
Much. All right, there's a way to do this that's really easy, and I don't remember what it is.
Bunny had a way to solve this thing. I'll have to post.
Hey, look at
there
that.
you,
There it
there
is.
you go.
As the last piece clicks into place, the barrier blocking the tunnel fades.
We didn't even get any enemies through that.
Nope.
That's a good puzzler. Enemies, we like that. No, you don't come after
Remnant.
me. Remnant.
Anybody been watching Weakest Link at all?
Nope.
Watched.
No, sorry, I don't really watch TV. I mean, I'll watch Jeopardy or something, but that's pretty much it.
You're watching the librarian.
Somebody got. We're talking about hairstyle or fashion. Someone got a question of the answer was what's a mullet?
Oh,
Like this hairstyle is characterized by business in front and party in the back. The guy answered mohawk.
That's from Joe. That's from Joe Dirt.
Right,
That
but
quote.
the guy answered. I think it was the guy. The answer given was mohawk.
what?
Yeah. Like that's not the answer.
I'm guessing though, when you're in that environment and you're, on the spot, that the brain sometimes just seizes up.
Oh, that
Adrenaline
definitely
does
happens.
strange things to people.
Well, a lot of them are like they don't tend to be difficult trivia questions, but when you're trying to do them on the spot and quickly, it gets a little harder.
Correct.
Shambling mound has been destroyed.
Nice.
You can return to the village
Couple
elder
of souls.
and boast that you've completed the hunter's trial.
D-Door?
If you want one. I don't know that it's really faster than running back.
We're gonna find out because I'm following somebody who's running, so I assume that's you. Yep.
Are there footprints behind me?
Nope. sounds right. Nope. No footprints. Sure is
Must be ahead of me then.
Yeah, this is probably not the best way to
You
go.
have found
Taking
favor
the door,
with the
taking the
second
detour.
elder.
I mean, in the
But it would
in the
be
mazy
in the
ones.
maze, though, yeah, in the maze it'll be a good time to take it.
We're waiting.
Mhm.
Hey, did we not?
The Scorro
There
elder
we go.
asked you to find 5 luminous mushrooms in the
Why do they gotta
jungle
hide
to
the guy that
southeast.
drops the barrier?
That's why.
A deep rumbling growl can be heard drifting from the thick jungle.
All right, now the fun part. Bear traps.
Oh, there's more mushrooms.
Mm.
More bear traps.
Won't be for
I
long.
can't click on the luminous mushroom. I kept clicking on Arcot.
Somehow, I don't think the results will be the same.
Nope, he doesn't fit
I
in
got
my
the last
pocket.
one.
I'm stuck.
You can take a detour
Take it
out
down.
if you want. Alright, detour's up.
I can't see anything, but there it is. Ah, there we go.
Am I waiting for anybody? Did everyone get it who wants it? Wait. Yeah, I hate running around there. I actually zoom into the first person mode.
It's so hard to see.
So bad.
To zoom in and out.
If you're gonna
trying
give
to
me a
figure out
maze,
where
at
I
least
am.
let me see in it.
Right. But no.
I'm not Beaker and doing a pen and paper game.
How
don't know.
so? What does that mean?
I'm
I
just
don't know what
taking
you're
a shot
talking
at him.
about.
It doesn't mean anything.
Well, I guess that, but I would like to know what the shot is so I can get a so that I can laugh.
Rattle,
Oh.
rattle, rattle. Your cage has been rattled. I think that was it.
I was making a joke of him being a mean DM, but he's not generally that mean of a
You don't
DM.
need to touch the mothers. Only the bad ones to try to hurt us.
I hear you're the mean GM there, PJ.
Me?
Party killer or something.
Killed any of the parties yet? I'm
Yet or
actually not sure if
recently?
anyone's died on D&D night on DDO stream.
Yeah, Drac sort of did,
Twice.
but he was brought back.
That was bonus D&D night though.
So, still D&D night.
Yeah, okay.
Actually, the first time, that first three adventure arc we did in Ravenloft, Jerry almost died like 3 times.
That's almost died.
He was like 2 death saves away, or 1 death save away from dying, I should say.
I did kill Drac in the DDOCaSplat, but that was super intentional.
Evilness. Plague Reaper.
And a famine.
Yeah, yeah.
And puddings.
Yay, puddings. Hey, Carnage.
And
Bonus
3
reaper.
lost souls.
I love how I get all these skills, these skulls and everything, and I'm critting for amazing amounts, and yet I have registered 1 kill. I don't even know how that's possible.
Well, when you get the lead shot and you don't,
Yeah, but it's giving me
see.
skulls and everything.
Oh, well, if they split, when oozes split, they don't, the splitted ones don't generally show up in the
Oh,
kill count. So that's probably what's going on.
okay.
Heat and humidity radiate from this passage, making the air thick.
That was kind of a predictable result.
What's
Drought.
that?
Spell
Oh,
resistance.
drow, right? Yep.
Tried to get him. Didn't get a single one.
Just pick ourselves up and
This guy's spell resistance isn't super great.
Yeah, that was one of my priorities on my bard. Because
Kinda
I
has to
used
be.
to do a lot of autos irresistible dance.
Even then,
And
though,
they-
drow are usually like some of the highest
Exactly.
in the game. So.
Exactly. They laughed at her and said, "Nah, I don't think so." Another lost soul. Do we go up or not?
Back the way we came.
Okay.
I'm just, excuse me. I'm just going left, looking for the Umber Holts. you go. That one works. Salamander.
Lost soul.
Scratching, scrabbling sound echoes around.
Uno más. He's so not gonna be in here. That would be easy.
Mhm.
Red chest.
You
Ooh,
hear an
famine!
Khyber.
shittering sound coming from
Last
the
number, Hulk.
chamber ahead.
Oh dear.
Rep chest.
Wow.
Someone's splitting newses. Alright, here's a detour.
Ooh, lost souls.
Thank you.
So is anybody working on a shifter tune besides me?
Yep. My main is a shifter. That's why I switched to Serenia.
So what are you doing? What kind of shifters are you making?
The barbarian. Pure barbarian at the
Wait.
moment.
Mine is a barbarian with 2 levels of rogue. Or will have 2 levels of
The
rogue until it
third
gets to
elder
that point.
grants you his favor. You've earned the favor of the village
Yeah, mine's a
and
pure
convinced the guard to
barbarian
open
and
the way
hand
to
wraps.
Valkur's temple. It lies to the southwest
I'm just
of the
using
village.
sword, two-handers. Because I have them.
I was not happy with the
The smell of
hitbox on the
smoke fills the air.
wraps at all because it's messed up.
They're gonna fix it.
Yes, but it's not fixed now, so
True.
this time he went pure barbarian and he's using great swords just like I am doing the barbarian with great
What do you
swords.
think of the animation for great swords?
Um,
Does it feel
I'm
clunky to
still
you?
kind of no, actually, I mean, there's weirdnesses to great swords. I mean, there's just weirdnesses. The way that you carry them and so on, it just doesn't look quite right to me.
I think
but,
Steel Star said something about the animations aren't quite right for the male. The
Yeah.
female shifters are working right. The male ones are not.
Well, maybe that's maybe
I'll
that's
have to
why I
take a
find
look
it
at-
clunky and she doesn't.
That could be too, yeah. Well, I've been doing single weapon fighting for so long that doing anything else it always looks weird.
It feels like a step in the chain is like missing.
I'll have to look at watch when Grubby does his animation next time because maybe I'll see what you mean.
Yeah, that's what the person that posted about on the forums. That's how they described it as well. So that's probably right. By the way, on this end fight, may I suggest that we take the first priority are the eyes.
Yes.
Don't worry about
Yeah.
the main guy. Just go after the eyes whenever they show up.
The
Yes,
other
sir.
other things less problematic, but eyes must die.
The eyes are awful.
I'm gonna-
Wisps and eyes must die.
I'm gonna be throwing glitter dust everywhere, so hopefully that'll help
Mhm.
keep it down. Let's go to that plague though.
Ooh.
Sheer chaos leaks into the world through the portal. Dangerous pulses of Zorian energy drift through
Okay, beware the eyes.
the
I'm working on 'em.
monstrosity roars. A barrier of solid light engulfs
Hateful stairs are just nasty.
Yeah, they are.
I'm dancing.
Seems like a strange time to dance.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I'm dance now. And I've got a disciple siphon next to me trying to kill me. It's going to work too.
the beholder's shield.
Oh, thank you, someone. Whoever fixed me up, I appreciate that.
I'm trying. Watch out, us.
Yeah.
Watch that happen.
Reaper.
Ooh, hateful stare behind me.
Yeah, there was a hateful stare spawned right behind Otzi. Yeah, behind a pillar.
Ah. Shoot.
I'm clear if somebody can get to me.
Run to the center.
Ooh, he just threw me. Now I'm dancing.
Try
Okay,
not to
I'm heading
get
to the.
behind
I'm heading
the
to the center.
pillars. It's hard to heal you.
Sorry.
The eye of rage gurgles
Whew.
one last time and crashes.
Yeah, it went pretty well.
You are now free to claim your prize. A treatment for the madness of crowds that afflict Stormreach.
Hi.
We did it! We did it! Yay!
Yes. And I got nothing.
Nothing.
Legendary planar spike.
I think that's a rare prowess in there. That's kind of nice.
Anybody
Oh.
want it?
Does anybody
What
want
is
the
it?
Sage's Cowl?
I do not want the pick.
Light pick. No, thank you. I've got
That's a
Reaper
nice.
in my eye.
That's a nice helmet. I like that helmet.
Yeah, it is a good helmet. I
Did you
have
kn-
one, but if you said you're going to be doing, well, of course it's.
Did you say you didn't want it, Shirza?
No, I don't want it.
I will take it. It's better than what I have. Thank
It's
you.
yours.
Nobody wants the spike?
Nope.
Oh, thank you.
No thanks.
Sentient fodder. Well, thanks for joining us tonight for DDOCaSplat. We hope you enjoyed watching us play and our rambling conversation that went in many different places tonight. Don't forget to dress for success and go and vote. I feel like that summarizes, and don't crash a car. That kind of summarizes the conversation, I think.
Right.
You can check out our past shows and our weekly DDO news and discussion podcast at DDOCast.com or on our YouTube DDOcast page. You can also watch us live on twitch.tv/DDOcast. Check out DDO.com for the official DDO stream calendar, the DDO forums, or to download and play DDO yourself. And check us out at DDOcast.com for our shows and swag, and if you'd like to support the show, all that fun stuff. And you can follow me on Twitter at DDOcast. Don't forget to check out D&D Night on DDO streams Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. This week is Rime of the Frostmaiden, Part 2. Hopefully our sailing expedition goes better this time. Or maybe we'll just walk.
I wanted to walk. I want to go on record as saying I wanted to walk.
But we did get to go fishing. That was fun.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we went
Yeah, I
out to
played
be,
D&D to go fishing. Yeah.
we
Okay.
went out in a boat to be bait is basically what it was.
Oh, even better.
In Icewind Dale, the fish for you.
Yeah.
That's true. They're huge.
Thanks for watching.